This is the gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
There is so much to observe and learn from our Lord in today's reading. Let us focus on the sentiment and the way of thinking of our Lord. In Prophet Isaiah, the sentiment and the thinking of the suffering Messiah is so beautifully expressed. Despite the harm he suffered from his opponents, the prophet prayed. Remember now, I stood in your presence to plead on their behalf. Jesus pleads on their behalf, even on the behalf of his enemies. This passage shows Jesus' spirit. This is the chief motive of his life and mission. This is the base tone of his whole life and teaching. Whatever happens to him, being refused, being accepted, in the midst of danger, he is praying for all. He is praying for the conversion of their opponents. He loves them. He prays for his enemies. Remember how I stood in your presence to plead on their behalf. This is what is expressed in the cross. Jesus stands in God's presence and pleads on our behalf. In Matthew's Gospel, we can learn our Lord's sentiment even further. Now we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man is about to be handed over to the chief priests and scribes. They will condemn him to death. It is important to know that Jesus goes to his enemies to heal them and to pray for them. This is his quiet mission. This is when he departs from the expectation of a triumphant messianic king who makes his authority felt with power. Actually, he goes to heal and rescue them. He comes to heal and rescue us. And this is what we are called to imitate, to be a constant prayer for our environment, where we are, just as he was constantly praying for us and among us. And in practical terms, this is so important. As parents, grandparents, neighbors, people in the workplace, we enter into situations time and again when we should feel and react differently. And that's the moment when we can follow our Lord's sentiment and service among us. If there is a quarrel between the children, disagreement in the family, dispute over finances in particular, let us be a voice which is different, which comes to heal and reconcile and love.